Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I finally got the right season, which is season 14. Don't remember the episode, but this is the reunion part 3. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and share. You can also leave your comments below. Now let's get into this last part of the reunion. Okay, so I think they left off with Sutton and Dorit. And I'm trying to think of how everything went, because how, to me, the reunion was flowing. There was just questions bouncing off everyone, and we weren't staying on topic a lot of times. But Dorit feels like Sutton buys her friends in this group. Did I actually feel that way when Sutton first got into this group? Yes. All of these bags of gifts and all that she was displaying during her first season, and I think second season, it was kind of interesting to see. Someone I do follow, we follow each other, listed the things that they think that Sutton was doing to buy the friendships. I think that still Sutton is nice. I think that, some of those things are what you do in friendships, especially in those type of high society friendships. Did I feel Sutton was doing that? Yeah, as I said. It didn't work. And in return, she did get ganged up on for several seasons. They even brought in reinforcements to try to gang up on her. That Diana woman. I do think that. All because she was bold enough, instead of these punk, I want to say what I want to say, but it's too early in the video for me to say what I want to say. These punk friends of hers, Erica James, didn't want to answer the questions. Y'all acting like production didn't set up Sutton to say certain things. As far as, no, you need to ask these questions. They even said, go on and ask them. While they sat there and allowed you to be beat. You couldn't even defend your friend while Sutton was asking these questions. And Sutton took the heat. And I just don't understand. It was a hypocrisy because everybody had questions for Denise. The first season, I committed to actually watching the whole season and being involved in everything. Y'all didn't care. Y'all, like, I don't understand. It's like only certain people need to be questioned. Y'all did not like Denise because she became a fan favorite. And now the things that are coming into question about you don't want to answer them because you have a family to protect, Kyle. I got to think about my daughters. Well, Denise also said that too, but y'all didn't care, especially Lips. So, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want this to be a rant, but Dorit was going around and around and around at how Sutton's behavior is. Sutton wasn't giving her what she wanted. She really thought she was about to have Sutton come out and to be nasty and all that. She wanted that to prove points. But it didn't happen. They talked about the whole alcohol thing. Obviously, you can tell that people have been in Dorit's DMs to give her information so that she would be prepared for Sutton. Because she's trying to figure out, why is it a rule for me not to be able to talk about your drinking and all that, but you got to say what you had to say back in 2020 about being a morning drinker. Again, Dorit, you got a husband who's an alcoholic or getting help, whatever. It seems very odd that you would want to weaponize that on someone else. If you care about your husband and alcoholism. 2, you were doing certain things because you wanted to F with her. Bose even said it was intentful. So it's like, I don't understand. And 3, let me see this. Who can say that Sutton has an alcoholic problem? Does she drink more? Is she acting a fool? Is she a Karen Huger? Is she driving in the trees? And is she a Shannon Bedore driving in the houses? You let me know. Is she late for work? Is she holding up cast during scenes or whatever? Is she slurring? What is she doing that would cause y'all to question alcoholism from her? We haven't seen it, and nobody has come out with anything. Dorit could not name one thing as far as also buying, Sutton buying her friends. That lets me know that Dorit is also listening to social media. And as I already said, she already talked about, I know somebody been in her DMs to try to give her information or to make Sutton look a certain way, but you're not making too much sense. Sutton may say something about herself, about whatever. But if you, right now we know what's been going on with her dad and all that. It's not an easy thing for her. But anyways, there's not going to be any type of really resolve because Dorit's saying that I need you to recognize that you can go low. And Sutton said, I do though. I have recognized that and all that, but you seem to want to put me in hell. And she didn't say that, but I'm saying that. Like, that's how it is. Like, for some reason, y'all can move on with each other, as Sutton has said, but with me, it's always something that y'all got to keep holding over my head. They get into what Erica was saying about, it seems like that you like to go at women when they're at the lowest. Erica said, with me, Dorit and Kyle, that seems to be the problem, and what you do, da-da-da-da-da. Sutton brought up about the fact that Kyle and Dorit was laughing at you while you were going through your crap, and the husbands were. And she said, I cussed them out privately. So she gets to hang up on the cross while you don't even confront your... And I also get, that's your friends, your real friends, or whatever y'all got going on. And Sutton is not. But do you understand how unfair that can seem to somebody that's just like, okay, I did what I did, but you don't even say nothing, and now we're hearing 2 years later that you cussed them out for being hypocrites. But I have to be punished. I have to be looked at as the villain. Sutton was shocked that things were just really crazy between her and Erica, but because she thought that they were having good times. But she just said, we have been. But I have been feeling certain ways, as to how you move. To be honest, I really do think that Erica has been honest about Sutton, and she's unsure. And I think that these women want 100% loyalty. But this is not the name of the game of the show. You're going to have to call out people who you consider friends. I don't get it. You may not call them out in the same way or whatnot, but what are we doing on this show? I don't get it. I think that Erica does like Sutton. And she says that, she don't know if she could really trust her like that because she doesn't know if she's going to be thrown under the bus. Which I just really still feel like she's not over what happened as far as questioning. And I don't even understand why nobody couldn't question her about anything, but whatever. Yeah, so since we're on Erica Jane, we start talking about Tom and all that good stuff. She has not filed for divorce. She said that, how do you really do that with someone who's incapacitated, which I believe is a lie. They're pushing for him to be hospitalized and not go to prison. She says that she doesn't see Tom. She doesn't know how she's going to be able to see him because he is incapacitated. I really don't want to see him until he actually kicks the can. But you were seeing him. You were seeing him during season 11. You were talking to him. But y'all can't tell me that there's no type of plot or whatever that Erica and Tom, I say Tom is over the head of that. Tom is over that concerning Tom and Erica's life. I think because of how things have planned out for Tom, there's just an agreement that they can separate. You can do your thing or whatnot. I got to play my part. I'm incapacitated and all this good stuff. She said that people who walked away from her from this whole Tom situation have not circled back around her. Cool, whatever. But we do know that Erica's being sued. If you've seen it in the blogs, I forgot for what. Garcelle is in a mood of not wanting to talk anymore. Obviously, she's been holding on to something since the part 1 reunion. And she said that she doesn't want to answer any more questions. Andy is somewhat pushing her to try to, okay, let's talk about it. I do feel like Garcelle should have spoke up. Defend yourself. Cuss him out if you have to. There is a grace that's given to certain people in this group, and others no, none. I will say this: they didn't like you, but they gave some grace to you, Garcelle, because you're the black one in the group. I'll say that much. They gave grace because the temperature was hot in regards to Black Lives Matter and racism and all that, and they tiptoed, even though you told them not to. I think this reunion, they pushed you a little bit more than what you were used to, and that's probably why you're like, okay, well, I don't really want to deal with this group. From what I observed from this whole reunion, and this is for Garcelle and Son, I think both of these people know that they are not going to be able to win in this whole situation, and they tried to turn it around to try to say, okay, we can't be the pot stirrers. Let's be friends. But I think it was too late, if you want my honest opinion. So I don't know. We get on Kyle and this whole separation with Mauricio. They said that they're close. They talk every day, but they don't talk about if they're going to get together or not. It's just everything's still the same. Anytime Kyle's about to talk, she starts crying. And I feel like that was a distraction. Kathy begins to cry. And I think I've seen Kathy in a different light. She was there for her sister last season, and I do really get that. And we saw a flashback of her holding her hand as Kyle was trying to talk about things. I really think that Kathy is a good sister to these two, Kyle and Kim. I really do. Do I think that Kathy has her ways? Yeah, she could. But I think all in all, she is big sister, and she's going to be there for her sisters. Excuse me while I do two things at once. She thinks it's sad of what's happening with Mauricio and her and Kyle. She wants things to stay the same. Sutton injected and said, what's her name? Kathy wants her and Kristen to get back together. But I think that is a very old school mentality, because definitely them old school folk will tell you to stay in your marriage despite whatever's going on. And I don't think that we're in a society where a lot of people are choosing to stay. I have mixed feelings about that, because I think that some people don't even fight for it anymore. But I think because there's a lot more examples of people just leaving marriages, they get up out of it. But anyways, she talks about Mauricio's infidelity. She don't want to talk about it because they were like, well, hey, what's going on there? Because you kind of insinuated that he did something to break your trust in last year's reunion, but now you're playing obtuse. Eric was like, oh, obtuse is a choice word. Well done. This is her. Obviously, Andy in his own way saying that we see the bull. We see the bull, and we need you to be honest. That's basically that's what's going on. She doesn't answer any questions about that because she says she's got to protect her daughters. Again, y'all didn't mind Denise, and she needed to be honest. Be honest. They move on from that. They talk about Kyle being a lesbian. Kathy starts laughing and all that. I think that was a distraction. She said that she had an open and honest conversation. She said that she started thinking about, well, is there a possibility? Because she said, I never questioned my sexuality. I never, ever. She said that she had an open and honest conversation with her daughters about it. And Portia stood up and came over and hugged her and said that she's going to love her. There's nothing that you can do that would, or whatever choices you make, that would make her not love her. Which is nice and very good to hear. She said, is it a crush on Ms. Morgan? It's like, I will never force anyone to come out if they don't want to come out. I still feel like Kyle is a manipulator on that stage. And it's cool if you say that you're attracted to her. She said that she's not dating, but then at the end of the episode, that's all about to change. Okay. People are in her DMs, men and women, and nothing has caught her eye. Erica said, yeah, it has, but not in a trying to expose her for anything. But she's been with the same man for 30 years. They got married very young. It looks like Mauricio is going through a midlife crisis because he had to be tied down so young, now he wants to party and all that stuff. She was okay with it in the 20s and 30s, but now it's like, not anymore. That's just not her anymore. And that's kind of somewhat of the issues of how she felt. She said that she doesn't really know where things just fell apart. I think that there's just things that have been bubbling up that we never really discussed, because they talked about how angry Kyle was at Mauricio last season, and now it's like, this season you're so sad that he's not there. I do feel like the fan base and watchers in Bravo give Kyle a lot of grace. The same grace that y'all don't give Candy Burris. Y'all said her story's over with. We're done with it. We don't want to see it. We don't see no businesses. We don't want to. If y'all, but I know it's undergirded with something else that y'all won't say. Well, y'all do say it. It is all because of Nene. Y'all think Nene is the only one, and she thinks that she's the only one that's supposed to be successful within the Bravo sphere. And y'all are tired of it. And I just think that Candy's been mistreated while Kyle's sitting up here, 14 seasons in, and don't really give nothing. That's how I feel. So we're at the end. Well, let me talk about Bose, because I think I said something last. Bose, stop it. And I think you're in some waters that you're treading in that you are not going to like come next season. Be performative on social media like you just were. I think yesterday or whatever, she said, I am strong and I stand 10 toes in it. I said, ma'am, you're performative about this whole misinterpretation about what you think Sutton was doing towards you, and trying to call you an angry black woman. And then you're upset that Giselle didn't stand up for you. As I said last week, you said that you were pissed. So then you're sitting up here acting like what Sutton is saying is just so absurd, and you're now being microaggressive. She wasn't, not in that moment. And all I can say, the flip is coming for you. The flip is coming for you. You might be spared a little bit because Dorit likes you, and people like Dorit for being a one-season wonder. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done with the show. Garcelle didn't want to take the cast photo, and everyone else is reacting to that, saying, like, I don't understand what's going on. Da, 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 da. Garcelle wanted to smile. Like, I think what was going on with Garcelle is like, okay, so one, I didn't expect to get all of this heat. Two, it didn't seem like we were going to be a good group as far. I think she wanted a commodity amongst whatever happened. We'll hash stuff out, and then we'll go have dinner, and it'll be good. And she doesn't feel like they hashed it out and got over it. It was just like, how dare you have your own opinions and feelings? Just like with Bose. I don't like the path Bose is going on. And I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm sorry. I don't like the path. And I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what happens for Bose. But things are about to flip on you, ma'am. And I'll just, whatever. So Garcelle says, I'm out. You know, I've been here for 5 years. I don't want to do this. They don't like me. They don't have no grace. Da, 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 da. And she goes. Sutton didn't come back to get her, even though people got to come back and get you all the time. I don't know. I don't know about that, Sutton. And then when you finally get back on stage, oh, she left? I'm like, you didn't come back there to just see what's up? Like, what's up? But whatever. For me, I want to go back to being a casual, or turn into a casual watcher. As it stands right now, I don't want to review the show. For several reasons. Garcelle brought me to the show. And part of the reasons, okay, well, it's kind of an excuse for me to leave the show. But I'm not just that shallow with it. I don't see any progression with these folks. We're going in the same circle of motion, and everything's turning right back around into the Fox Force. And it's just not, like, what are we doing? They can be as mediocre as they will be. They get the highest ratings for what? And I still think that Garcelle brought in some of these ratings. And I would love to see how it shifts. Now, Bose is a good factor and may still keep up some of the ratings because, I mean, we have liked Bose. But I do not believe that the ratings will be up for Beverly Hills without Garcelle, without the black viewer. Let me say it that way. Without the black viewer. Yeah, I'm kind of tired. And this show is not for the weak. And it's obvious that white people do not want to intermingle with black people as far as with these reality shows. I've muted the hashtag for Beverly Hills because y'all are some racist mofos. Racist and unreasonable. You never was threatened by Crystal saying that Sutton was being problematic, but you've always had a problem with Garcelle doing it. You didn't care about Crystal calling out Kyle, but from an Asian, there's no real threat. From a black person, it's a real threat. And I don't have a tolerance for it no more. My heart's not in it. I'm gonna give the show back to y'all that just act like it's the best show in the world. If y'all enjoy it, enjoy it. But I'll dip in and out. But I don't see any interest in me moving forward as far as reviewing. So this is my last one. By Garcelle. Bose, I'm just gonna watch it. Sutton, I'm gonna watch you too. But Bose, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna see how things turn out for you on this show. That's all I gotta say. Y'all let me know in the comments. I was all over the place, but I felt like the reunion was all over the place too, so sue me. I appreciate everyone for joining me on this time that I've had with reviewing Beverly Hills. It's just, at least for now, I'm out. Yeah, there has to be something really great to change my mind, but the show is just wants to be the way it is, and I don't have time for it. All right, so like this video, subscribe, share, and get in the comments. Let me know. Until the next one, peace.